Good morning.
BBC Radio Foyle
and BBC Radio Ulster
with Gerry Anderson.
Oh, sorry, I better put the microphone on. It's far better when you talk. That's twice I did that. This is what's called the destroying of the brain cells. Good morning, this is Gerry Anderson here, the Gerry Anderson Show, the only programme on Radio Ulster that provides hope for the bald. Today we'll answer the question that's on everyone's lips, mainly. Who will be the next Jamie Theakston? But we'll do that later. This is our celebrity spot. And if you don't watch Survivors or Big Brother, today's papers will make no sense to you. I don't have to say that to you. All these people who you never heard of last week are suddenly spread all over the papers and known by their first names only. So if you've been away on holiday for a week or anything, don't buy any newspapers because it'll all seem as if you've been away for about 2 years. If you want to contact this programme, the number to ring is 08459 555 678. If you want to send an email, it's gerry.anderson@bbc.co.uk. And I'm wriggling around the chair and I don't know why I'm doing it. It's something to do with the shape of the... I don't know what it is. Oh, thank you, Mary Ferris, for the letter. Message received. Very interesting letter. I'm not allowed to read it out, but I'd love to, because I do believe there is some veracity and some truth in it. Thank you, Henry. A beautiful dreamer. Yeah. She understands what that means. This is Keltis, song called Jigsaw, a bit of a lilt. Thank you. That's Keltis. That's a song called Jigsaw from an album called What Goes Around. It's now exactly 25 minutes to 11 o'clock. Some things I have to deal with here. Here's a card from Ben Sands with the Sands family. He's in Santa Cruz in California, and I wish I was. He's on Monterey Bay. He just sends a little card and says he's enjoying himself, as indeed he should be. Do you know, Mr. Carr, that we're down in Warren Point on the 15th of June doing an outside broadcast in Warren Point? Did you know that?
What do you mean, we, Kimosabi?
Let me just rephrase that. I am doing an outside broadcast. Why don't you come?
I don't know.
Do you want to come? Why don't you come? It wouldn't be the same without you.
I don't know.
I'll find out if it's okay for you to go.
But I've got the wee programme.
Your wee programme might have to go on hold for a day. It's very important that we go out and see the people, because people haven't seen us for a long time, and we've deteriorated somewhat since they've seen us last.
A lady phoned
I
to
don't
say
know,
that
though, you know. I don't know. I was talking to a man the other day who hadn't seen me for a long time, and he said I'm well mended. What do you think? Come on. Come on.
Your hair's getting a bit scraggy again.
It is indeed, yes.
You need an
Yeah, what about general complexion?
You're a big whiff hanging out this morning.
Clearness of the eye. What about that? Clearness of the eye and complexion and general demeanour?
All right.
All right.
All right.
I think we're ready. So the 15th of June, which is in Friday fortnight, I do believe it is. No, it's not. It's Friday 3 weeks, isn't it? Hold on a minute.
Couldn't be Friday 3 weeks. If this must be
This Friday is the 1st of June, right?
This Friday is?
Yes.
This Friday is?
Yes.
That's right.
Yes. And next Friday is the 8th of June.
Aye.
And the Friday after, it's Friday 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We'll be down Warren Point. What we should do, we should invite some of the Sands family on to sing a few songs off for it. Will we do that? If you're involved in the programme, maybe you would do that later. I'll find out later.
A lady phoned to say that there's a Santa Claus still on a chimney in Antrim. Could you get it removed?
The 28th of May? That's some kind of a record. It's on a chimney?
And somewhere in Antrim.
Is this a private household?
Yeah.
Oh, you can't interfere in private households after all.
But maybe the people have forgotten.
No, this is why my uncle fell at Ypres. This is why my uncle, that's why he got on the little boats at Dunkirk, so that people can hang Santa up their chimney.
Well, would you talk to Frankie, who's annoyed?
Democracy here, no matter what they all say.
Excuse me? Frankie's upset with a certain Radio Ulster presenter.
I'll have to wait.
It's a she.
I'll hear no Radio Ulster presenter criticised.
Well,
I won't have any part of it.
Well, you will.
Incidentally, here's an email which concerns that. Don Juan Carlos, it's from, made up name, I do believe. He says, Gerry, I'm 15 years of age. Can you tell me how I can go about wooing older women like Wendy Austin, as I want to be your toy boy? Best wishes, Don Juan Carlos. Well, I think the best thing he can do is make himself up like a rugby wing half and get a Mini Cooper, and he's halfway there. What would you say?
Do you remember Mini Coopers?
Yeah, I do.
It was a Mini Cooper S or something.
You're going to say you had one, but I know you hadn't. Because I hadn't got one either.
I nearly had one.
No, you didn't.
I had a Mini Cooper.
You had not, really.
I had a Mini Cooper.
Had you? With your own money?
I had a Mini Cooper. She was blue with a white roof.
Is that a fact? I didn't know that. I'm sorry. I take everything back that I said. I didn't realise you had a Mini Cooper.
Yeah.
What age were you?
Do you know who sold it to me?
I don't want any names here.
Yes, well, I'll give you. I'll give you. I'll just tell you who it
is. Is it someone who everyone else knows?
A member of your family.
Ah, don't be starting that.
I will.
Remember, my family never had anything to sell.
On your wife's side.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ah. Yeah. And you bought it, did you?
I did.
And was it terribly expensive?
So if you don't believe me, ask him.
All right, I will ask him. Was it very expensive?
No, it was second hand.
Did you pull in it?
I did. I did. I must tell you a story.
I know a girl who had a Mini that used to run after me.
I'll tell you a story about that someday and
Oh, and tell it in the radio.
No.
Don't be scared.
No. Will you talk to Frankie?
It doesn't scare me to tell him about things in the radio. Margaret sends me a letter. She said, I was listening to the plight of the gentleman this morning with regards to banjo lessons. I'm just writing to offer my services, free of charge, of course. That's what we like to hear in this programme. I do not want to give my details out over the radio, but just tell the man who wants banjo lessons to contact Margaret at the Cafe Chickadee in Donaghadee. Is that some kind of code, do you think?
I don't know.
Is it? I mean, I wouldn't like to go into the Chickadee in Bangladesh. I nearly said, let me start that again. I wouldn't like to go into the Chickadee in Donaghadee and
what
go
is
to the
Chickadee? That's what your man kept saying, didn't he? The WC
feet. Oh, my little chickadee.
My
little chickadee. Yeah. Well, the cafe is called the Chickadee in Donaghadee. I think I'd be very nervous about walking in there and sidling up to the counter and asking for banjo lessons.
Because we had a chip shop in Derry, hadn't you? And you could ask for.
Oh, Greasy Barney's.
Remember?
No, you got a cup of tea and you turned the cup upside down, and then a man brought you up the stairs.
So you keep telling me.
That's what happened. You went in and you ordered a cup of tea, and then you got the cup of tea, and then when you finished the cup of tea, you inverted your cup, and a man came over and he said, "Call me boy." But I was far too young for that. When I got old enough, I battled at the door, but they were closed. Anyway.
What about Frankie? Frankie wants to talk to you. She's on one.
Okay, we get round to her eventually. Anyway, about the banjo lessons, I will be more than happy to teach him. Margaret says, tell him to drop in and we'll discuss the requirements over coffee.
So you have a banjo player in Ballymena, Kathleen.
Kathleen may not be able to teach. Those who can do, those who can't teach. This is the best I can do, she says. I do not wish to leave my personal details over the radio, so just tell the man to call in to Chickadee in High Street, Donaghadee, any day but the weekend when we are extremely busy. I enjoy the show and have it playing in the cafe when customers have a cuppa. Now, this is obviously very genuine, and I'm sorry, Margaret, we're making a little fun of that, but, you know, we know you're genuine, and we're just messing here, because we're very, very bad and naughty. So that's the Chickadee in Donaghadee.
Does Margaret play?
Margaret I don't know.
Well,
I don't know. I think she does, because why would she...
Would she play for us?
I mean, if you offered a man to teach him the banjo,
yeah,
and he came up and you said, I'm sorry.
but it might be Margaret's man that teaches
I was supposing you said I didn't play. You know, the man would say, what am I doing here? That's when the fun starts. I think Margaret plays hers.
Yes.
Sorry,
Which
I wouldn't say that. I think Margaret does play the banjo, and I think she's willing to teach the man.
Have you a phone number? I would like to phone her and ask what
There is no phone number. Why don't you ring up the Chickadee in Bangor? Or Donaghadee. It's a cafe called the Chickadee. Go on.
Would they be open this time?
Bank holiday, for God's sake. And maybe not. They might do big breakfast, perhaps. You know, sausages, mushrooms, stuff.
All right, then.
Find out for the
Well,
crack.
turn me off and talk to Frankie.
All right, I
please.
will. And here's another request for Brian McAllister, who's in Dublin. And he says, I would like to say a big hello and thank you to my mother, Mary McAllister, in Portrush. She thinks she is often overworked and undervalued, and contrary to belief, we appreciate her and love her dearly. Thank you, Mother, for being a super mum. Eldest son, Brian. There we are. I'm sure Mary will appreciate that up in Portrush. And I hope the weather is clement there today. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, yes, sorry for keeping you. I'm gathering.
You're okay. I just want to let these people know there'll be no dance on Tuesday the 29th at the Valley Leisure Centre, Rathcoole.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And there'll be no dance on Friday the 1st of June at Rush Park, owing to the death of Big Harry.
Okay, then.
Thanks, Gerry.
Is that it?
Are you okay?
I'm fine,
You
thanks.
got it all there?
Do you want to repeat that just for the benefit
Right,
of the
okay.
confused?
No dance on Tuesday the 29th of May
Yes.
at the Valley Leisure Centre, Rathcoole.
Mm-hmm.
And there'll be no dance on Friday the 1st of June at Rush Park Centre.
Who was Big Harry?
Well, he was the dance, my mother's partner, and he was the dance fella that taught them how to dance. Old time, you know.
Yeah.
So just say Fran Gleave has sent the message.
What age was he when Harry?
84. I mean,
Oh,
God,
dear.
where would you get it?
God bless him. Was he still battering on? Was he still battering the floor to the end, was
I
he?
know. He only went in with a sore leg, and he come out dead, so I don't know what's happened to him.
Well,
So just say Fran Gleave.
okay then. All right.
Thanks. We're listening to you anyway.
All right, love. Okay.
Thanks. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, bye. Bye. She couldn't remember my name.
Hmm?
She couldn't remember my name.
Aye.
I don't get annoyed at stuff like that. I was going to tell her that, but then she went
What
away.
was the story? I was speaking to a guy
No, it
from
was
Dublin.
a poor gentleman, old gentleman died.
Right.
He's a dance teacher. He's 84 years old. His name is Big Harry. Lived in the hospital.
Well, why
Died.
wouldn't John mention it?
Pardon?
Did she tell you that?
No, she never mentioned it. What? Why? John Bennett?
Did she not mention any names?
No.
Okay.
Go on, tell me what
No.
you know.
No.
Don't you think I should know a little about what's going on in the programme? Did she say that John wouldn't mention it?
I don't.
Come on. Did she say that? Did she say to you that John wouldn't do it?
I
Is that
don't
what
want
you're
to.
trying
I
to
don't
say?
want. It's not
You
fair.
don't want to get
It's not fair in John.
And it's not. No, but since when did that stop?
Yeah, well, it's true. Then he wouldn't mention it.
No, John's all right. Okay, then. I know I didn't know that. You brought that up. I
I
knew
know.
nothing about it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do another poem now from Hilaire Belloc.
Right. Turn me off.
A gentleman called Brendan Armstrong. Now, I love the poetry of Hilaire Belloc, as many of you don't. But I think it's really good. Have a listen to this. He sent me one the other day. Now he sent me more, and he says, why don't you have a crack at maybe one of these? So I looked through them, and I like this one. There's something about this that I really enjoy. This is called Matilda. I'll read this. I love reading this kind of stuff. If you don't like it, switch it off, turn it on, go over to downtown, come back in 5 minutes. Matilda, this is called Matilda. Matilda told such dreadful lies, it made one gasp and stretch one's eyes. Her aunt, who from her earliest youth had kept a strict regard for truth, attempted to believe Matilda, the effort very nearly killed her, and would have done so had not she discovered this infirmity. For once towards the close of day, Matilda, growing tired of play and finding she was left alone, went tiptoed to the telephone and summoned the immediate aid of London's noble fire brigade. Within an hour the gallant band were pouring in on every hand. From Putney, Hackney, Downs and Bow, with courage high and hearts aglow, they galloped, roaring through the town. Matilda's house is burning down! Inspired by British cheers and loud proceeding from the frenzied crowd, they ran their ladders through a score of windows on the ballroom floor and took peculiar pains to souse the pictures up and down the house until Matilda's aunt succeeded in showing them that they were not needed. And even then she had to pay to get the men to go away. It happened then, a few weeks later, her aunt went off to the theatre to see this interesting play, the second Mrs. Tanqueray. She had refused to take her niece to hear this entertaining piece, a deprivation just and wise to punish her for telling lies. That night, a fire did break out. You should have heard Matilda shout. You should have heard her scream and bawl and throw the window up and call to people passing in the street. The rapidly increasing heat encouraged her to obtain their confidence, but it was all in vain, for every time she shouted fire, they only shouted back, "You liar!" And therefore when her aunt returned, Matilda and the house were burned.
Me Uncle Peter rolled his eyes and gave out a mighty roar. He grabbed his chest, he gasped for breath, and he fell dead on the floor. Then later, when the will was read, the family was alarmed, for Uncle Peter left to me his house and farm o' land. Now I was never into farming, much to the soil I don't belong. I much prefer the public house with the women, wine and song. That's why the neighbours point at me and say behind their hands, "Sure yonder goes Mad Mickey, he's your man who drank the farm." And first I drank the bottom field, and then I drank the bog. 40 little black-faced ewes and Shep the collie dog. The cattle in the byre and the bonnows and the sow. Now I'm finished with the harrow and I'm starting on the plough. Now Hector was the banty cock and he was the first to go. For long before the break of dawn he'd stick up his beak and crow. And neighbour woman up the road admired him in the yard. So £2.50 later and Bull Hector got his cards. Now the hens got agitated after Hector went away, and their beady eyes suggested their suspicions of foul play. I looked up the yellow pages, a pheasant plucker said he'd buy. That night in Biddy Mulligan's, boys, I made the feathers fly. Then a few old friends invited me to a soccer match in Spain. So a load of bullocks later and I climbed aboard the plane. I must have took the long way home, for I wakened up in Greece, where I found that bed and breakfast cost me cutlets, chops and fleece. Mind, you sheep are awful awkward yokes, for when they choose to graze, they insist on climbing to the top of mountains, hills and braes. When I heard that the All-Ireland was being held in Ballina, without the slightest hesitation I flogged the flock to fund the flag. Now the bank is getting nasty and they say they'll take no more, and have started pinning statements with sharp daggers to the door. They say they'll bring the bailiffs in when they come round again, so it looks as if I'm facing ruination once again. Ruination once again. Ruination once again. Without another load of bullocks, it's ruination once again. Now things are getting desperate, for there's nothing left to sell. But to me joy, I hear that Uncle Pat is quite unwell. I think I'll call to see him with strong drink to ease his pain. And if Lady Luck smiles down on me, I'm in business once again. And first I'll drink his bottom field, and then I'll drink his bog. His 40 little black-faced ewes and his little hairy dog. His cattle in the byre and his bonnows and the sow. For I will and I must get plastered, for the humour is on me now.
That's good. That's The Man Who Drank the Farm. That's Mickey McConnell from an album called Joined Up Writing, which is on Spring Records. A couple of email. Morning, Mr. Anderson. Gary McKee writes, he said about that Santa spotted up a chimney at Antrim. Has it been left there from last Christmas, or have they put it up early for next Christmas? Just a thought. I would rather you hadn't made it. No, it's quite important. No, I don't think we should castigate people for leaving Santas up, especially in Antrim. Claire Hughes sends me an email. It's a lost dog, it says here. I'd be grateful, she said, if you would help us to try and find our dog Riggs, who went missing from the Dublin Road, Ballinahattie Road area of Omagh on Saturday the 12th of May. It's a couple of weeks ago. Riggs is an English pointer with a white body and brown spots and a very distinctive all-brown head, as indeed I have myself. The children and us are very upset that Riggs has gone missing, and despite putting an ad in the local papers and ringing the dog warden, there's been no sight nor sound of him. My daughter is currently doing GCSE exams, and as she is missing Riggs, it would help her immensely if Riggs would come home. Obviously, she's distracted. Should anyone have any information, I'd be grateful if you could contact either you or us. That's from Claire Hughes. So anyone who knows anything about a wee English pointer with a white body, brown spots, and a very distinctive old brown head, give us a ring here at BBC Radio 4, or BBC Radio Ulster, whichever the case may be. That's the same number. That's 08459 555 678. A wee dog called Riggs. Say, here Riggs, boy, here, boy. Gone away. He's gone for about 2 weeks in Omagh from the Dublin Road, Ballinahattie area of Armagh.
I guess I was just in case you.
Got you.
You did, all right. You did.
I love catching you like that. What are you talking about? Bad things, was it?
There's a
What
man,
are you saying?
a man called John Mackay who's phoned in from Glasgow.
Yes.
And he says that you're wrong.
I'm wrong?
He was born in Glasgow, or sorry, Paddy Crean was born in Glasgow. You're wrong.
I don't see what this has got to do with anything.
You were talking about Paddy Crean and where he was born.
Yeah, about 2 months ago.
I thought it was this morning.
No, you should listen to the programme. You'll hear all kinds of things.
Well, even 2 months ago.
It's 2 months ago. The man rings up 2 months later and to tell me I was
Because
wrong.
he was talking to Paddy Crean at the cup final on Saturday, and he said to Paddy Crean,
Wonder what cup final that would have been.
they were talking about you on Radio Ulster. Gerry Anderson were trying to find out where you were born, and the programme discovered that you were born in Donegal.
Me? I was
No,
not.
Paddy Crean was. And Paddy Crean says, rubbish, I was born in Glasgow.
As they say in the song.
Exactly. Dear old Glasgow tune.
That's right, yeah. That's 2 months ago, and he rings up today suddenly out of the blue and says...
Oh, but see, had he wait until he got the evidence, obviously. So he was talking to Paddy.
That's what
face
I've
to
often
face.
said to you in the privacy of our own home upstairs. People have little to do too, haven't they?
Yeah.
So Paddy
So-
Crean wasn't born.
So you've poo-pooed that.
I feel much better.
Yeah.
I feel much better. I wonder what cup final that would have been on Saturday, eh?
Aye.
Have a guess at that one. I don't know how I feel about that. A lot of people went crazy around about this area, didn't they?
I was watching the television on Saturday afternoon, or was it Sunday afternoon? Saturday or Sunday, I'm not quite sure. But I was watching the golf, and then they went away from the golf to the horse racing. Right.
Yes.
And wee Willie Carson was on
Yes.
with some girl, and they co-present the horse racing program.
Yes.
And then they were going to the Curragh for the Irish 2,000 guineas.
The Curragh of Kildare.
Right?
Yes.
And the girl said to wee Willie Carson, what horse do you think will win the race?
What race?
The 2,000 guineas.
Right.
And Willie said he wasn't quite sure, he couldn't make his mind up, but he says, I'll tell you what I'll do. He says, I'll go for the English horse because I'm English.
That's no way to pick a horse.
And what did she say to him?
What did she say
Willie,
to him?
you're not English. You're from Scotland.
And what did he say?
He says, well, you know what I mean. You know, he forgot himself.
Oh, touch the old Woggins
He
there.
forgot himself. Because I'm English, I'll go for the English horse.
Touch the old Terry Woggins
He's
there.
born in Scotland.
Oh,
The people in Scotland will not like him for
They
that.
won't like that
No.
at all. That's
Willie
like when
has
Terry
turned
Wogan
his
says.
silks.
That's when Terry Wogan does the same thing during the Eurovision Song Contest when England's winning.
But I can understand Terry's point of view.
No, but when he's
Working for the Beeb.
I know, but
And
the
he's
point,
working.
No, but the point is when United Kingdom has got 10 points, he always says we're ahead now. It's the same way as us talking about Manchester United. We're doing well this week. We won last Saturday. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
People shouldn't do that. People shouldn't associate. With
I
something
think
that's
Willie
not to
made
do
an
with
awful
it.
gaff.
But I mean, how can you forget you're Scottish?
I know.
I mean, that's like me saying I'm Welsh.
Yeah.
You can't do that. I would.
There's
I
a
hope you
lady
don't
on
think,
one.
I hope you don't think little of him.
Ah.
Dear, the humour, sense of humour is wonderful. Hello, good morning. There's a woman on the line, apparently. Hello?
Hello, Gerry.
Yes.
This is Margaret.
Yes, Margaret.
Right, now, I have a complaint.
Good.
Right?
Yes.
Now, could you talk up a wee bit? I can't hear you very...
I can't talk up very much more. It's just the system.
Right, love.
I can hear you, though. Don't worry about that.
Right, can you tell me why the concert for Billy Connolly
was sold out in an hour,
Yes.
right? And how is it banks and government buildings got them before they were even out in sale?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yes, I know that for a fact.
How do you know that?
My boss always takes us out once a year to a concert.
Yes.
She herself goes to the Waterfront all the time. She's been to the opera. She's been to see Andy Williams.
Yes.
She's a regular customer there. And she's already rang a fortnight ago for the tickets and we're told they weren't in sale. And how is it? On Saturday morning, they were sold out 5 concerts. 5 concerts.
Mm-hmm.
They were sold out in an hour. And I have a friend, I'm not saying who it is, but works with the government. And she got them.
Okay. Well, wait, I tell you what we'll do. We'll ask.
3 weeks ago, she got them.
Well, you see, this is what the world is.
Now, hold on a minute, Gerry.
Yes.
I'm just a common person.
I know.
You understand what I mean? How is it government can get it?
I know, but you see,
That's not on.
well, you see, I have to tell you something now which may come as a surprise to many working class people.
Some of us do work, like.
I know, see, the world is changing.
What do you mean the world's changing?
It's
It's not
becoming-
for me.
No, it's becoming more of a...
I was looking forward to that night.
I know you were.
And I don't go out very often.
No, but you see, here's the thing that we must learn, and you see, there's nobody doing anything about it. And I'm not Che Guevara, do you know what I mean? But it's becoming an increasingly corporate world.
Well, that's not fair.
No, but you see what this is the greatest time in the history of man to be a bank manager.
Typical man. What about us women?
But you see, this is well, hold on a minute. There are a number of explanations. There are a number of explanations about this. That could go into a whole. There's lots of things why this should be the case.
No, that's not on.
You see,
Like she tried to put that a fortnight ago.
But maybe they all went on sale on the internet.
And they always send her information through the post. What's coming on?
Who's whispering to you?
Pardon me?
whispering to
My colleague here who I work with.
I would say that the chances are that they were sold on the internet.
On the internet?
Yes, I would say. Do you have access to the old internet?
Well, some of us can't afford the internet.
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll ring the Waterfront and ask them.
Yes, and will you ring me back?
No, we'll get them on the air if they want to.
Fair enough.
Okay?
Fair enough, Gerry. Thank you very much indeed for your help, love. Bye-bye.
Yeah, see,
Why wouldn't you ring her back?
you can ring her back. I have no phone here.
I know, but she said, will you ring me back? And you says no.
Well, I said I would ring her back because I have no phone.
But she thought that, no, I'm not, that sounded horrible.
You ring her back.
But
I can't ring her back. I don't have a phone.
well, what do you want us to do now?
I want you to ring the Waterfront and ask them what happened to all the tickets for Billy Connolly.
A man phoned to say that the vast majority of them were sold on the internet.
Oh, we could phone the Waterfront and ask them.
What's the number?
Look under W. No, ask them. See, no, we're not trying to cause trouble here. It's just an innocent inquiry. Phone up and ask, were most of them sold on the internet, or what's the crack with the tickets for the...
You know what happened the last time we talked about a concert at the Waterfront?
No, but that was a mistake. That's that fella got through the net. No, but this is all right. We're doing this ourselves. No, just phone the guy up and ask him where did all the tickets go for the
Right.
Waterfront and how come
So
your woman
this
couldn't
is
get one.
coming from you.
It's coming from me.
Okay.
Ask him. If you prefer to keep your nose clean, which I'm sure you do,
Right.
just ask him: is it true what they say about Dixie?
Well, what might he say to the man on the Waterfront?
Say say there were 5 tickets for 5 concerts. 5. I can't talk today.
Well, how might he talk to the man?
Well, I don't know how you. Maybe you can talk better than me. Tell them there was 5 concerts, but they're all sold out in an hour.
Billy Connolly.
Yeah. So ask him how were they sold,
Right.
and ask him. So there's a lady on complaining that a lot of them went to a lot of them were corporate tickets. Is that true? She's implying that they were corporate tickets.
Right. So I phone the man on the Waterfront and I say, hello,
Ask
ticket
him.
unit.
No, phone the... Oh, God, I hit the microphone again. Phone the PR people. They'll be able to tell you.
Well, that's what I'm trying to ask you. When the phone
Oh, for
rings,
God's sake!
when the phone rings, who do we ask for?
Phone the Waterfront and say, hello.
Yes.
Is that the Waterfront?
Yes.
Could I speak to someone in PR?
Right.
That's all you have to do.
Right.
I mean, how long have you been sitting behind that
Okay.
desk?
And then I said, and we had a complaint this morning.
No, we had an inquiry as to why a person could not buy tickets for Billy Connolly's concert because they're all sold out in 1 hour. How come they were sold so fast? That's all you have to say.
Right.
We want to know, all the listeners want to know,
And ask,
whether there couldn't have been a queue of people because you couldn't have processed them so fast.
and do I ask them, would you like to come on air?
Yes.
Yes.
Use your initiative.
Yes, you have to come on air and explain that.
Yes, we have to go now. The phone is that black thing in front of you. We'll be back approximately 4 minutes to 11 o'clock. Sorry, after 11 o'clock. Thank you. Look, nobody went away at all.
Radio Ulster.
It's 11 o'clock and this is the news with Linda Ray. Police say they haven't ruled out a paramilitary motive for a murder in Newtownards last night. A man who was in his 40s was shot dead by 2 gunmen in Jimmy Mack's bar in North Street just after 11 o'clock. No one else was injured. Detectives say the victim lived in Newtownards and was known to the police, but they haven't yet released his name. RUC Assistant Chief Constable Stephen White says their investigations are continuing.
We're not closing our minds to anything. However, there are a certain number of areas of investigation that we're pursuing actively. A car was seen leaving the area and a burnt-out car was found in the Upper Granshire Road between Donegal and Bangor. That would point to someone making getaway in that area. And of course the murder has the hallmarks of a paramilitary organisation being involved.
3 people are being treated in hospital after an explosion at a block of flats in Newry. The police are examining the possibility that the explosion, which happened around 5:30 this morning, was caused by a gas leak. The police say they're not treating a pipe bomb attack on a house at Portrush as sectarian. 2 men were seen throwing the device at Bath Street around 3 o'clock this morning. It failed to explode and no one was injured. The police are trying to establish a motive for a fire at a GAA building in Killilea. The blaze destroyed the clubhouse at Sloane Crescent. A 72-year-old woman has been killed in a road accident in Lurgan. The woman, who was in a wheelchair, was hit by a car at Lake Street just before midnight. Her husband, who was pushing her wheelchair at the time, was seriously injured. His condition in hospital is described as stable. A couple in their 60s have been tied up in their home in Newry by armed robbers. 2 masked men went into the living room of the house at Demolly Road shortly before 11 o'clock, where they struck the man on the head before tying the couple up and threatening them. They left with money and jewellery. Community leaders in Oldham have condemned a second night of clashes between riot police and gangs of youths. The offices of the local newspaper were firebombed. It had been criticised for its coverage of the racial tension in the town. From Oldham, Richard Wells reports.
The violence last night was described by police as sporadic and nothing on the scale or ferocity of that 24 hours earlier. Hundreds of police were on the streets. Their role was to prevent any trouble, and when that seemed under threat, their numbers were quickly reinforced by officers wearing riot gear. Some petrol bombs were thrown and 1 officer was injured. There were several arrests for public order offences. The leader of Oldham Borough Council, Richard Knowles, said they were working with Asian community leaders and police to try to resolve tensions. These, he said, had been exploited in recent weeks by supporters of extreme right-wing organisations who'd come to the town to cause trouble.
The French Prime Minister Lionel Jospin has set out his ideas for the future of the European Union. He said that Europe should create an economic government with a fund to help Eurozone economies if they get into difficulty. He also said that unfair competition between national tax regimes was unacceptable and that harmonising corporate taxation would eventually be necessary. The weather slowly brightening up this afternoon with a maximum of 17 Celsius. BBC Radio Ulster News.
BBC Radio Ulster.
Travel news.
TransLink have advised their customers that although today is a bank holiday, all rail and bus services will be operating as normal. In Vallaki, the Old Town Road is closed while installation work is carried out. A diversion is signposted. Resurfacing work continues on Nuts Corner roundabout in Antrim. Traffic controls are in place and delays are likely. And the Ban Bridge in Coleraine will be closed until 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. This is to facilitate the replacement of a water main, and delays can be expected in the area. Sinead Maguire with the Travel News.
Thank you. Welcome back on this Bank Holiday Monday.
BBC Radio Foyle
And BBC Radio Ulster.
with Gerry Anderson.
Yes, remember there is hope for the bald. Welcome back. It's almost 5 minutes past 11 o'clock. We'll be here until 12 o'clock. If you want to contact this programme, the number is 08459 555 678 here on BBC Radio Foyle and BBC Radio Ulster, of course. If you want to send an email, it's gerry.anderson@bbc.co.uk.
closed, nobody said very much. Just some old wild shirts and a couple of pairs of pants which nobody really wanted to touch. Mama come in, she picked up a book and Papa asked her what it was. Someone else asked, what do you care? Papa said, well, just because. Then he started to take back the clothes and hang 'em on the line. It was January the 30th. Everybody was feeling fine. The next day, everybody got up, seeing if the clothes were dry. Dogs were barking, a neighbor passed. Mama, of course, she said hi. Have you heard the news? He said with a grin. The vice president's gone mad. Where? Downtown. When? Last night. Hey, that's too bad. Well, there's nothing we can do about it, said the neighbor. It's just something we're gonna have to forget. Yes, I guess so, said Ma, and then she asked me if the clothes were still wet. I reached up to touch my shirt, and the neighbor said, are those clothes yours? I said, some of them, not all of them. He said, you always help right around here with the chores. I said, sometimes, not all the time. And then my neighbor, he blew his nose just as Papa yelled outside,
Mama wants you to come on back in the house and bring them clothes.
I just do what I'm told, so I did it, of course. I went back in the house and Mama met me, and then I shut all the doors.
That's Clothesline Saga. Strange song, a strange version, but a great song and a great version. That's by Susie and Maggie Roche from an album called A Nod to Bob, an artist tribute to Bob Dylan on his 60th birthday last Thursday. That's probably the best. There's been a lot of tribute albums out over around about this week, and probably more tomorrow actually, but they're all pretty serious. But this is the best one. This is called A Nod to Bob. And before that was a piece of music called Study for Margot, from an album called 12 Pieces for the Guitar by a guitarist who's brilliant called Richard Gilowitz. But that may not concern you. Hello, good morning. Hello. Hello, hello. Oh, matron. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, who's that?
Michael Robinson.
Michael, don't sound so shell-shocked. It's quite all right. You're on the air. The people are listening. Everything's okay. I'm not like the others.
Well, the girl that was on about the Billy Connolly tickets.
Yes.
I've been ringing up before Easter.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't give me a date.
Mm-hmm.
I've been ringing up every fortnight since. They says there was no advance bookings.
Mm-hmm.
I got a letter from them Saturday morning for a ballet, which I've no interest in.
A what?
A ballet.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about Bally Connolly.
No, not Bally Walter either.
Okay, right, sorry.
And when I rang up on Saturday morning, I asked them, was there any word about the Billy Connolly concerts?
Mm-hmm.
And they said, they went on sale this morning, they're sold out. Young Virgin, sold out.
Right. Uh-huh. I
was in Antrim last night. My nephew said to me, I could have got your tickets 3 weeks ago.
In what in what way?
Through his work.
Through his work?
Yes.
So, does it look here as if there's a corporate thing going on here?
There's definitely something going on. Either that or there's a whole lot of them going to ticket touts.
Oh, I don't. Oh, no, I don't think that's right. I think I don't know. I honestly don't know. Let me just check. Did you get through to
I'll tell you what. I'm not. I have 2 tickets for Willie Nelson. I'm going to go. I'm not buying any more tickets for Waterfront. Like, I hear they're losing money. The Waterfront.
Well, a venue like that will always lose money because it's too big and there's not enough of us like good things. Hold on a minute. Sean, any news from the Waterfront at all? Maybe they're closed today.
I didn't ring them yet. I can't tell lies.
Pardon?
I can't tell lies. But I will ring them shortly.
I think maybe perhaps you could do it before the end of the programme.
I will. I'll do it now.
After all, I'm kind of hanging out here. You know?
The next 5 minutes.
I mean, I'm speculating as to what the case may be, and you're not bothering your arse to ring them.
I will.
I'm talking about corporate tickets. I'm talking.
Does he want the number?
Have you got the number there? Have you? Give him the number.
Is it 33 44 55, Michael?
All right, then that's good. Yes. We're making progress here.
And I have to speak to the house manager.
No.
Yes, I was told to ask for the house manager.
No, he'll only tell you can't park your car there. The last time, when you hear this, the last time I went to the Waterfront, this is no reflection on that.
We heard that story. About your car and the man, and it's only for celebrities and guests.
No, it's not right at all.
Well, what?
It came up to me. I went.
We heard the story.
Maybe listen. What's this man's name?
Michael.
Michael, did you hear the story?
No.
Do you mind if I tell Michael? It's a private conversation we're having. After all.
I want to butt out.
Okay, butt out. Try and ring the Waterfront, will you? I went up to the Waterfront one night. I was supposed to be there for some reason or another, but they closed off the car park. But I noticed there was a little kind of a space there, so I went over and I nudged my way in. The boy came over with a pig cap, and he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm sorry. Is there any way in here? I see some cars parked in there, but not a lot. Could I park in there?" He said, "Them's only for politicians and celebrities." He says, "What are you?" I said, I don't know. I couldn't really say. So he let me in eventually, but he wasn't sure about me. I think there's there's one of the things I started to say, and this is no reflection on the Waterfront now, don't get me wrong, but this is the best time in the world in the history of mankind to be a capitalist and a bank manager. Do you know why? Because nobody ever questions anything anymore. And do you know what has caused this? It's computers. Because you can't question a computer. You can't. Remember, you used to go in the bank and say, "Listen, what did I tell you, love? That's not right." You can't do that because now they say, "I'm sorry, here's the readout." That's it. And they say, "Well, that's not right there." And they say, "Are you saying the computer is wrong?" And you're saying, "So bad wrong." You see, and you can't argue anymore. And remember, people used to protest about people building things all over the place. Nobody protests about anything anymore. And people want to be identified with corporate entities, and they want to wear clothes with their labels on the outside. Young people have no rebelliousness in them anymore, and all these people are all sitting in the city of London, New York, making loads and loads of money. And that's probably why they're not offering the working class people the tickets.
But they should be getting a fair crack of the whip, everybody.
This indeed is this is why my uncle fell at Dunkirk. You know what I mean? And it's not happening. People have become too complacent. It's computers making everybody scared. Everybody's afraid to step out of line in case the computer points them out and then keeps firing out letters at them. I don't know, but this may have nothing to do with the Waterfront, but I'll tell you what, there'll come a time when Mr. Coyle will do what I ask him to. Who's that in the background there?
I can hack it through the Waterfront.
Well, I don't know. See, probably won't want to talk to us. If I was them, I wouldn't want to talk to me either. But they might make a statement. Hold on. No, I'll tell you what. You go away now, and you listen. And if you've anything to say, come back to me. And we'll get to the bottom of this by thunder. So in other words, you never knew if the tickets were on sale or not?
No. Apparently there was an advertisement on Friday night in the Telegraph. But everybody doesn't buy the Telegraph. And why should they be sending me things? I was seeing Van Morrison and then the Gail Lewis. There's no problem getting the tickets.
Yeah,
because we're advertised local. There was billboards up advertising it. Not one billboard up for Billy Connolly. I haven't seen one.
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen one either, but that doesn't mean to say they're not there. Okay, well, what you're saying is that you think that Billy Connolly is appearing by...
I don't think Billy Connolly would like this, because he likes the down-to-earth people at his shows, but he can relate to where he comes from. And
that's why he always hangs around with the Duke and Duchess of York, then.
Well, could be.
Okay, well, I don't know. Hold on a second.
Sorry, Mike, a lady phoned there now to say she queued up on Saturday morning. She started queuing at 8 o'clock. The Waterfront opened at 10, and she managed to get herself 6 tickets.
Well, how did she know to go and queue up?
Well, I don't know.
You might have asked her.
Well, and she said that all the people in the queue got tickets, and they were buying them in 6s.
Oh, 6s?
Yes. And they were getting tickets hand over fist Saturday morning.
How did they know to go there, though?
Don't know.
This is your point, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, have you got through yet? Have you rung the Waterfront yet?
No, no.
Why don't you try and ring them, please? Just for me.
Okay.
Just this once.
I shall.
Okay?
Okay.
You see, he doesn't want to ring because he gets into trouble, you say. But you know what I mean?
But how did the other ones get the tickets 3 weeks in advance and all?
Well, that's what I'm trying to if I could find somebody to talk to, I'd ask them that. But I can't get them because he won't ring them. But he will ring them now in a minute.
If I hadn't knew to wait on Saturday, I would have went down.
If you'd have thought that you would have got a ticket if you were down there, you would have been down queuing, wouldn't you?
But I was going down for 8 tickets.
But you didn't know.
No.
You didn't know.
And I've been phoning up every fortnight.
I'm going to ring the Waterfront now, okay?
Yeah?
Right, you stall the wedding.
No, I'm not. No, listen, tell them what it's about.
Stall
No,
you the
stop that.
Stall the
Stop
wedding.
that.
Hold on.
Don't be putting me right on.
I've been there.
You have to talk to them.
I've been down that road.
Don't talk to them.
On 3.
I have to go away now, right?
On 3.
Okay. See you later, sir.
There.
All right.
On 3.
Hello?
Waterfront Hall, box office and information line. This line operates from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Saturday, excluding bank and public holidays. There is no credit card service charge on bookings made on this line. To make a booking outside of these hours, please redial 0870-243-4455 to be connected to Ticketmaster. There will be a credit card service charge on all Ticketmaster bookings.
What about if you want to talk to somebody? Is that it?
That's it.
As far as you've got that.
There's a call now on 2.
There must be some other way. Look,
Well,
ring
you
up the
tell.
operator and see if there's another number for the
Well, what about
Waterfront.
that number for Ticketmaster?
Right, ring that. That'll
be the same.
That'll be the same. No, fine. There must be some other. There must be somebody down there. Ring.
Well,
who knows these things?
Who's promoting the concert?
Probably George Jones.
Is it Jamaican or who is it? I don't know. I'm only saying. I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know. Maybe we should go and try and find out. Will you? Don't be asking me. I'm on the air. I'm broadcasting. I don't know things. Go and find out. Use our research staff who are all not here.
Well, tell me a direction to go.
Ring somebody in Belfast. They know things.
Who?
Ring Bennett. He's Big Baldy. He knows everything. Ring him, his people, and ask something. Use your initiative. I'm talking to people on the phone
Hold
here.
on 2.
Yes. Hello. Good morning. Hello. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Oh, it is me. Sorry.
I'm sorry. It's very confusing here. I'm trying to keep the whole thing afloat here.
I'm up all night, yes.
I'm trying to advise everybody about everything, and I know nothing.
I'm looking for something.
Right.
It's something I only will do if, the demands exert in the privacy of my own home. But I'm looking for the video. There is apparently one in existence, or even 2, of the White Heather Club.
It's a terrible when you come to that stage.
I have
isn't
to
it?
admit to this, over the air. I didn't intend to do this at
It's
all. But
terrible, yeah.
but I admit that this is something I would like to be able to do in the privacy of my own home.
I think there's a law against that.
Are all things Scottish or just the White Heather Club?
No, I think it's something that's been passed.
Or maybe Billy Connolly might be included as well this morning.
Indeed, because I'm sure he's appeared on it at some stage in his career. Well, do you want any old episodes?
Well, apparently there were videos made of some episodes of this particular program. I did locate them on one of these internet purchasing channels. I don't know what they really call them.
Yes,
I can't
yes,
use them, but my
yes.
daughter can. But they had been deleted from that, from the purchase. But somebody might have bought them somewhere
Mm-hmm.
and might be enjoying them in a darkened room.
Yes, indeed, as many people do.
Yes, indeed.
I have to say to you that I am extremely confident that you will get something by the White Heather Club.
I'd be greatly
confident.
I'd be greatly invigorated by this.
Because I happen to know there are many closet White Heather Club fans.
watchers.
Yes, indeed.
Could we form a support group?
I would be very careful about that because, the police are getting stronger as each day passes, especially when the new people come in.
Oh, well, maybe they'd join too.
No, I would...
The RUC band and all that. They might be interested.
I don't know. I'd be very careful about that if I were you.
Oh, right. Okay.
Once the Ulster Scots people get to hear about this...
I might get funding.
Indeed, you might. You made indeed.
Meet the criteria.
I would get on to Ledger right away.
Well,
no, not
about the
Ledger.
Ulster Scots crowd and the, cross-border relations and all this sort of thing. You never know.
Who was the fellow who sang? Who was the fellow? What was his name? Donald Rachel. Andy Stewart.
Oh, Andy, yes.
I think Andy Stewart should be brought around with St. Teresa.
Yes, now there's a possibility.
Andy Stewart's relics should be shown.
Relics could go not alongside.
I'll tell you what, if Andy Stewart's relics were brought around Northern Ireland, the people would jump over themselves to get at it.
Maybe Jimmy Shand as well.
Jimmy Shand, the relics of Jimmy Shand. Saint
Jimmy Shand.
Saint Jimmy Shand.
That's the blessed Jimmy Shand, the very one. Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what, there'd be line dancing around the coffin. They would indeed.
No, not line dancing. We'd be doing a nice Strath's Day.
Oh, no, you see, what has happened, all this whole thing is fused into one, you see.
Oh, dear.
See, one of the things that I've noticed over the past 10, 15 years is that the old Scottish culture thing has fused into your country and Irish thing.
Oh, no.
That's where you get Scottish singers coming over here and nobody knows the difference. Isla Grant, for instance. She's a Scottish housewife. She's huge here, but nobody knows she's Scottish.
Nobody actually would go along that road if they knew it. Yeah.
Makes no difference. It's all fused into one horrible, homogenous mass that we can only penetrate with care.
Well, I'm a purist, you understand?
I know, you're just coming at this, may I call you a virgin? You're coming at this from a virginal point of view.
I will take that stance, yes.
Okay, right, you're coming at it, but you don't know the big picture. The big picture is fairly frightening. Because once you get down the White Heather Road, Hugo is not far behind.
Oh dear.
Now be warned, I'm telling you.
I shall watch my behind then.
Well, I didn't like to say that, but I think you'd be as well to do that too.
Thank you,
you're getting close to Hugo Land, and that's where people don't want to go.
Sorry.
All right. Okay, White Heather Club, any video?
Anybody got any of those? I'd be just delighted.
Okay, give us a ring. Anyone out there who can help us
Thank
at all?
you.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Will you take an 8-track cassette?
Oh, God, aye.
No, will you take a cartridge?
For the Spirit hit player. Oh, yeah.
All right, then. Okay, I'm fairly confident. Keep listening. And if you don't get any answer, if you hear nothing from us, before the end of if you hear nothing from us before tomorrow, give us a ring again.
Who was the female or the male dancer in the White Heather Club?
Well, the chap there on the phone asked me that. I remember the great solo dancer.
Hold on a minute. What, the chap down the phone asked you that, did he? Have you already asked her that?
I'm asking you.
No, you've already asked her
I'm
that.
asking you because we don't know.
Stop asking the same people questions twice.
But I've just remembered his name.
Oh, what was it?
It was Dixie somebody.
That's not remembering a name.
Excuse me.
That's not remembering a name.
Dixie Ingram.
Dixie Ingram.
There you are. He was the dancer in the White Heather Club.
He was a lovely solo dancer.
He was a great dancer, very light on his feet.
Dixie Ingram?
Yeah.
What kind of a name's that? Dixie Ingram?
Dixie Ingram was the dancer in the White Heather Club.
Oh, great. Okay, we'll try and get you something. I'm going to go away sharply from this.
Thanks for all the fun you provide.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
Love your programme. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Barbara wants you.
Bye.
Barbara's got something to add.
Somebody told you it was Dixie Ingram, didn't they?
She did. I knew it was Dixie.
Why did you pretend that you only remembered Ingram at the end?
I didn't. I did only remember at the end when she said
No,
Ingram.
that was a theatrical. Oh, no. Ingram.
But I knew. She said Ingram. And I said, that's right, Dixie Ingram. Barbara's got something to add to the tickets.
A rub of the relic from Andy Stewart.
Welcome into my house, come along and follow me to a place that you've never been, a mystic fantasy. Take a ride and go with me in a time and a space. I'll show you things that you never knew existed in another place. I wanna know
Welcome to Tomorrow. That's Snap featuring Summer. I love that. I keep saying it. I'm not going to play it for a while because people will be getting fed up. It's coming up to 29 minutes past 11 o'clock. There seems to be something wrong with the ticket processing here. I've got a couple of emails here. Here's one from Fiona Kirker. She said, "We had waited for weeks, like your last caller, for the tickets for the Billy Connolly concert to come on sale. We saw it advertised that they would come on sale on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. and the Waterfront booking office phone number was given. On Saturday morning, the number was engaged constantly from 5 to 10, and it never rang. Just the engaged tone could be heard. We tried at 10:30, just engaged. Finally, through the internet at 10:40, we realised that the tickets were already sold out for all 6 nights. What sort of a way is that to do business, to treat people like that? So that's 40 minutes. 6, my God, that must be 12,000. How many people have... God, that must be 10,000. It's amazing. And here's another one from Conor McGeary. Just writing in reference to the Billy Connolly tickets, I had to work on Saturday morning. I'm a 20-year-old student and therefore I couldn't take the time off to go and physically get them, so I thought I'd ring for them. Fortunately, I have a phone at work, so I started ringing at about 10 to 10 on Saturday morning. I was trying 2 numbers, the ticket shop at Virgin and the Waterfront. I constantly got an engaged tone for over 2 hours until I finally got through at 12:15 p.m. When I was told that the tickets were all sold out, I was basically laughed at down the phone by the woman on the other end. It's a disgrace. I've been looking forward to this for ages. God knows when he'll come back. The same thing happened before with this year's Slane. I think the whole ticket selling process needs to be reevaluated. Well, I think, I've heard a lot of stuff, about that. It's very hard to get a ticket for anything these days, especially anything you want to go to. And it always seems to be the case that everything goes in a flash, and people seem to say, well, how can somebody possibly sell like 10,000 tickets in 40 minutes? But there should be some way that people can get at it. Can we not talk to anybody?
Eh? Barbara's there. I'm getting somewhere.
Are you?
Yeah.
Has Barbara anything to do with this now?
Barbara's annoyed.
Is she?
But I'm making
You're
progress.
Hey.
Yeah.
Good. Hello, Barbara.
Hello, Gerry.
Yes, Barbara.
This is Big Barbara from Lisburn.
As opposed to Little Barbara, not from Lisburn.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, anyway, you're shouting there at Sean about ring the waterfront, ring the waterfront.
I'm trying to get something done.
Right. Well, while you were shouting at him, I rang the waterfront.
Did you?
Yes.
And did you get through to anybody?
I got through to an answer machine.
So did we.
Ticketmaster.
Yes.
And it's before I even got time to dial any of the numbers for the Ticketmaster's thing, said that to tell you're looking tickets for Billy Connolly, they're all sold out.
Yes.
So I got speaking to nobody, only the answer machine.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So don't be shouting at Sean anymore now the day.
Oh, I know that, you see, but the thing you must remember is this, that we are the BBC here, and we should have other access. We should have ways of getting people.
Well, you'll not hardly get them today because they're always on that ticket machine until they must be closed today.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll get them tomorrow.
Mr. Coyle says he's getting somewhere, and I tend to believe him.
And yet when you go to all these places, because I go to Waterfront quite often, and when you go to all these places and you look around, you have the places empty.
Mm. Isn't that a fact? Which leads me to think, that there's a lot of corporate tickets been sold. Because people in businesses, when they said that half the people don't go. I mean, if you get maybe, I'm not saying this is the case, but I've seen cases like this before in other areas of entertainment whereby 200 tickets are bought by, I don't want to name anybody in particular, because
yes.
Like some corporate body, say the Gerry Anderson Bank, and then they give them out to all their staff as perks.
I know.
And then half of them don't go.
Well, then don't be shouting at Sean no more now.
Okay,
because he can't do anything today.
No, it's because I enjoy it.
And I personally, I go to a lot of the shows, and I personally be at the Waterfront. When I want a ticket, I have to be there for them opening the first day to get my ticket over the counter.
Well, that seems to be the only way.
Yes. So I've been there and done it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
Gerry, don't be shouting at Sean anymore.
Actually, what other pleasure do I have?
Well, I heard him shouting about you and getting your hair cut.
Ah.
Go and sit half an hour in the barber's and get it cut.
All right, then, I'll consider it.
All right.
Okay.
Right, bye.
Bye. Bye. Hello? Hello, someone else there.
Hello.
Yes? Yes, who's that?
Gerry.
Yes?
Alan here, Scotland.
Oh, I thought it was Billy Connolly.
No.
I'm so
I have the same problem. I had the same problem.
Where are you from? Where are you living, did you say?
Outside Dumfries.
Oh, well,
on the Strand Railroad.
Well, you have no chance of getting a ticket because it's very
no, there was a show on in Dumfries.
Oh, yes.
In the Labour Club.
Mm-hmm.
Am I allowed to mention Labour Club?
I think so, yes.
And it was the Gerry Anderson show.
Really?
Oh,
yeah.
Here, I've got it here in front of me.
Yes.
Show not to be missed. 26th of May. The Gerry Anderson show. With top comedian, Bill somebody, Jeffrey.
Really?
That wasn't you, was it? Couldn't get a ticket, £4 a ticket.
I never showed up. The 26th of May, when was that? Last Friday?
It was on Saturday, this Saturday just gone.
Oh,
I only seen it on Friday in the Friday's paper.
There's a
and it was a sellout.
My God, what is he? Is he a comedian or what is he?
I've no idea.
He's an imposter.
That's why I went to try and find out if I could get a ticket.
I don't...
It just says in the advert, the Gerry Anderson show.
Who is this man? What does he do? You've no idea what he does?
No idea. He said he was Irish. Some Irish fella.
You're not serious.
Must be a show or something. But there's a comedian on with him, and but this club itself they don't usually have big, shows.
What is that club again?
It's a Labour club.
A Labour club?
Dumfries Labour and Social Club.
Well, the only other person I know with my name, the same name as me, is your man out of Thunderbirds. And he gets his letters and I get mine.
Well,
I get his letters and he gets mine.
I just thought, with it being a bank holiday, it might have been over here.
Now, he's not doing Labour clubs in Scotland these days. I can't think of... if he's from Ireland, there's...
Well,
there's somebody making money. Maybe somebody making money in my name.
Maybe Kelly.
I can't... For God's sake, I can't do it. How come he can? I mean, if I can't make money in my own name, how can he? I'd be interested to find out who... He's Irish, did you say?
He's been using your rickety wheel.
Has he got a rickety wheel?
No, this Kelly.
Oh, Kelly, yeah, I know. I'm very upset about Kelly's stealing our rickety wheel.
He's not him in disguise.
He never even asked, He didn't ask. He just went ahead and used it. I was hurt, to be honest with you, I was hurt a little. I thought maybe he would have rung up and said, Gerry, I hope you don't mind. We've decided to incorporate the rickety wheel in the show. And I would have said, by all means, Gerry, I think it's a great idea. But to go behind my back like that, Brutus, that's who he is. Brutus. Et tu, brute, et rickety wheel, some, you brute. Anyway, that's another story.
Can I just say another thing?
Yes.
Just while I'm on, which is come up, the one that was after a video or something.
E pluribus rickety wheelus. Yes, sorry, go ahead.
The one that was after a White Heather video.
Yes.
I have two videos.
Yes.
Wait a minute.
Is there one of them a White Heather one?
Is it the White Heather party that she's after?
I think
I've got one here. It's White Heather
I don't
The
think
White
she's...
Heather Tour of Scotland.
I think she'll take any of them.
But the other one is the Hogmanay Party.
I think that may be the one
It's
she
called
might
Jim
want.
MacLeod.
Who?
It's... Pardon?
Called what, did you say?
The second one I've got is Jim MacLeod's Hogmanay Party. What it is, you can put it on at a certain time, say about 9:30 on Hogmanay, Christmas Eve.
Yes.
New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
And it times it right for the bells at midnight.
But you could do that any night.
But this is a video, full.
I know, but you could do that any night. I mean, I could put it on tonight at 9:30, couldn't I?
Yeah.
And I could pretend it's at midnight. I could
Yeah.
pretend it's New Year's Eve. Of course, the neighbours might be upset if you're running around, putting...
But it's a Hogmanay Party sort of thing.
But you can do it you could do it every night. In your own home, if you want
Yeah.
to. If you put
Oh,
it on
yeah.
9:30, it becomes New Year's Eve at 12 o'clock.
If you want to get blitted.
Exactly. You can dance around the garden and stuff. And the neighbours would wonder what's going on. And you suddenly realise
They're
that
not
it's...
so bad here. I've got a lock at the back.
Call it the Anderson New Year. So I'm worried about this. Can you find anything more about this man who's been...
I don't know. I'll try and find out.
Seriously, will you find out?
If
Because
I
I
can
want
see
to...
anybody that... I'll try and find out from people that's been to the concert.
I'm
See
trying
what
to...
it was like.
Try and find out how much he's making. Because what I can do...
Well,
I can...
it's £4 a ticket, and it's a big club.
Many people would get in there. Many...
It's
1,000?
just members and guests only.
How many would get in, do you think? 1,000?
I don't know.
A couple of hundred? 500?
200 or 300,
300, 1,200 quid. If you find out who he is, look, I'll ring up and outbid him.
Yeah.
Or maybe I could undercut him. They may take me. No, seriously, find out who he is.
Yeah, it must be like a complete show, because there's...
He sounds like a charlatan, and indeed an imposter.
The way they've advertised it.
Right, sure. Okay, I'm a little thrown by that. It's it's kind of a doppelganger.
It's in big letters, the Gerry Anderson show. As soon as I seen it, I thought, well, it must be over here.
Would you
went? Bank holiday.
Would you have gone to that?
You don't do shows there.
I don't know. I've no talent. Would you have gone to that? If I did a show, would you go to it?
Possibly, yeah.
Would you go?
Well, I was going to go to this one.
Do you think if I went on the road?
I never go in the Labour Club.
No. Do you think if I went on the road in Scotland, that people would pay to see me?
I've been trying to get to see you go.
Maybe I could do.
He only goes to Stranraer.
I could do recitations. I could bring a rickety wheel and get people to win things. There's a whole new career there for me when I'm sacked. All right, then. Well, good man. Keep finding out things for me, will you?
Well, I watch the Indians when they're over.
The Indians.
Aye, they're always regular.
Is Chief Wife Dove still there?
There's one of them left. Is it Tony?
Tony's the...
Tony,
he was the fella...
Paul Brady.
Yeah, the Indian chief chap himself.
He's left now, but it's his son that's in now, isn't it?
But where does an Indian chief go when he leaves the Indians? I mean, there's no other jobs for him.
No.
I saw him one night, years and years ago when they first became the Indians, and he came on stage with an ordinary hatchet.
Yeah.
I got a little frightened because I thought he'd gone mad, and I suddenly realised that he meant it to be a tomahawk. It was just your ordinary 3 quid hatchet, no out of B&Q. And I said to myself, why didn't he just tie an iron feather around it? Because, I mean, if I'd have been sitting in front of the stage, I'd have got frightened because I thought maybe it might have been an imposter. And you know what he did when he had the hatchet? He started to sing Sweet Caroline. Have you ever seen a man waving a hatchet, singing Sweet Caroline?
No.
It's not a good idea. Do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do. Because you think at any moment he's going to go crazy and split somebody's head open. So he's left. And what about White Dove? Is she still there?
White Dove.
You know, the squaw there. Remember the squaw used to be on stage with the long black hair?
I've never seen him with a...
Well, he used to have a squaw, but she probably gave out because she wasn't getting enough money.
Was it like a dummy or was it a female?
No, she was a squaw is for God's sake,
female.
Man. You know what a squaw is, don't
Yeah,
you? A squaw is the chief and his squaw.
Yeah.
She used to be on stage and he'd sing there with his hatchet, and she'd stand beside him and do the... her name is White Dove.
White Dove.
Yeah, I remember her well.
Running Bear, that's White Dove, isn't it?
Yeah, that's...
White Dove's mentioned in Running Bear.
Indeed, yes, I'm glad you picked that up. Okay, listen, find out who Gerry Anderson is and come back to me, will you?
See, the first time I seen the Indians, you know...
Yes.
The fire brigade turned up. You know when they start off?
Yes.
They have these, like, smoke things coming up.
I know that.
The fire alarms off. The fire brigade were at the door.
Yeah, I've seen them doing that. They send smoke signals, but the fire alarm things don't know that.
They didn't warn the people about the fire. You know,
one of the things...
the smoke alarms off.
That's right. It's always a mistake to give smoke signals in a room that's fitted with sprinklers. I'll tell you one thing that I noticed about the Indians, which was quite sad. As the years went on, you see, there's one or two of them got very baldy.
Oh, right.
And what happens is when you put on the headband with a feather sticking out of it, It doesn't look good if you've no hair. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And remember, this is one of the few programs on Radio Ulster that gives hope to the bald. Okay?
Have you still got that Davy Crockett hat?
Born on a mountaintop in Tennessee. I haven't got the Davy Crockett hat. I gave it away to charity. It was auctioned somewhere in Enniskillen and got a vast amount for children. For children in need.
This blinking thing about, you know, David Beckham.
Are you okay?
He must have paid about 50 quid for that haircut.
Mm-hmm.
I got in 1958.
Talking about David Beckham here.
You know, the Mohican style.
Yes,
It's
indeed.
not even a proper Mohican, because a Mohican goes down the back as well.
Indeed, yes. He bottled
Just
out.
on the top is.
Mm-hmm. He
Well,
bottled out.
I had mine done about 2 weeks before I left school. They wouldn't let me into the school.
You had a Mohican?
In 1958, yeah.
You must have been some
It's in
sight.
a local paper.
Well, I'm sure it happened. I mean, very few people would have seen a Mohican in 1958. The Hurons were
Well,
the
it was
only...
the Davy Crockett craze, I think.
Well, no. Well, see, Davy Crockett would have fought the Hurons and the Mohicans.
Yeah.
But people would probably have been content enough with the Davy Crockett hat. And very few would have opted for the Mohican, as you did yourself.
Well, I had the Mohican cut.
Well, you must have been...
just for a laugh, like.
Well, you must have been an adventurous soul.
Cost me my last fortnight at school.
Right. Well, could you have one again?
Well, you couldn't stick it on once you took it off, couldn't you? You can't put it back on.
Have you enough hair to facilitate a Mohican these days?
I've got hair, but it's white.
Well, you could dye. You could still have a Mohican, couldn't you?
I could have a Mohican, yeah.
You should dye it purple. Have a
Sure,
Mohican and dye it purple. Revisit your school days.
I'm sure it'll look good in Dumfries with a Mohican.
Well, I'll tell you what. Listen, say hello to all the people in Dumfries for me.
I will, and I'll find out.
Yes, find out who the
something about
imposter,
that
the
show.
charlatan is. Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you, bye.
Bye. Bye. Do you realise what that means?
Now, wait a minute now. Where are we?
There's a man travelling around Scotland called Gerry Anderson making money.
Right.
And charging £4 a head in working man's clubs.
It's not bad.
Do you know what that means? Do you know what this means? It means there's a fellow there called Sean Coyle as well.
No,
Well,
you talk to somebody.
Hello. Yes, I will.
Aileen, on one.
Aileen.
Aileen, I think.
Aileen.
Aileen.
Aileen. Aileen?
Hello?
Hello, is that your name, Aileen?
Yes.
Okay, Aileen, thank you.
I was phoning about the Billy Connolly tickets.
Yes, have you got an experience yourself?
Yes. I queued up from 8 o'clock on Saturday morning and actually got 6 for myself.
Yes.
It's just, they were on sale on the internet. On sale on Virgin Megastores and HMV, and you can book them over the phone.
Hold on a minute, give us that again slowly.
Right, sorry. There was a very, very long queue at Virgin Megastores for them.
All right.
Right, there was a queue at HMV for them.
Yes.
There was a queue at the Waterfront for them.
Yeah.
You can book them over the internet.
Yeah.
And you can get them by phone.
Uh-huh.
And everyone was buying them in bulks of 6.
Yeah, okay, so you could have went up and got 6.
Yeah.
And that applies to Virgin and everywhere else.
And everywhere else.
Well, that explains why they all went so quickly.
Yeah, when I was actually booking my tickets, when they were like booking the seats for me, because they were selling so fast.
Yeah.
The seats that they were trying to book for me were selling before they could even book them for me.
Is that right?
Yeah, they were going really quick.
Oh. You've got a very unusual accent. Are you American?
Yes.
But you've been here for a while.
Yeah, 6 years.
That's a good accent, then. You're just right spot in the middle of the two cultures.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, we're having hang on there a second.
Okay.
What did you hear?
I spoke to Eamon McCann, who's the promoter.
Yes.
And Eamon says that the tickets went on sale, I think he said 10 o'clock, around that time, at the Waterfront. Waterfront had 12 lines open, as telephone lines open as well. And whenever the lines got busy, Ticketmaster then kicked in. And they were also on sale. You could book through Ticketmaster as well. All the outlets that Aideen has just mentioned throughout Northern Ireland, they were all on sale from 10 o'clock. And he says, with so many people selling the tickets at the one time, that's why they were snapped up. And they limited them only to 6 tickets per person. So he says, so many people selling the tickets, they were gone.
So you could buy them on the internet, you could buy them at the Waterfront.
Exactly what Aideen said.
How many lines did you say was down there, Aideen?
Well, there was 3 long queues. You know the Waterfront? You know the big fish thing that they have out there? That's how far the queue went back to.
Down to the fish thing?
Yeah.
That's a long way away.
Yeah.
All right then. And so there's 3 lines down there, and then at Virgin, then the internet, then where else?
Telephone, and then HMV.
Well, that would explain it. But it's not a great system, is it? Of course, I think maybe it's I don't know, maybe, well... But how did you know to go down there?
2 weeks beforehand, I looked on the internet and it said that they were on sale, and there was also big posters outside the waterfront saying that they were going on sale on Saturday at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Well, people should have saw the posters outside the waterfront, shouldn't they?
Yeah.
But see, the answer is really these days to keep your eye on the internet, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, the world is changing. You know, the days when a man comes knocking at your door and say, "Hey boy, you want to buy a ticket for Ballyconn?" These days are gone, aren't they?
Yeah.
Those days are gone. But what have you been doing here this last 6 days? Have I talked to you before?
No.
I thought I had.
No.
I've got this thing, you know, about Mr. Coyle likes to keep me away from girls with American accent because he knows I have a little weakness. So where are you? But no need to panic. Where are you from?
I'm from New York originally.
Really?
Well, not New York City, New York State.
New York. But whereabouts in New York State?
Orange County.
Orange County. I know it. Yeah. I once went to see an uncle of mine used to live in Paterson, New Jersey.
Oh yes.
And I had a great. I won't tell you the story because it's pretty shocking. But it's good. I kind of liked it. Anyway, so what do you do here?
I'm a student.
Oh, good. Are you in Queens, are you?
No, Ulster University. You know, the art college.
Very good. You're studying art.
Yes.
And are you finished now? Are you going to stay here for a while?
No, I've got 2 more years left.
Great. And do you like it here?
I love it here.
Great. Well, I hope you. Why don't you meet a small beer drinking man and get married and stay here?
That's the plan.
Because it's very hard to find small beer drinking men in Belfast, isn't it?
Yeah.
Every second person is one. Okay, Dean, thank you for
thank you.
Thank you for telling us about that, okay?
No problem, thank you.
Bye. Bye. She was nice, wasn't she? So I'm afraid, what?
And you...
Oh,
no,
sorry,
you
there's
know
someone...
tickets,
Hello? Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello, Jerry?
Yes? Yes, sorry, who's
Jerry,
that?
I'm just using your show as a medium, actually, if you didn't mind. It's just to pass on a big thank you to a couple who found my son yesterday at Belfast Zoo, yesterday afternoon. His name was Aidan Murray.
Did he wander away, did he?
He did.
What age is he, 35?
my husband wandered off too after that. No, he's 7.
Yeah.
But I didn't get the couple's name. I didn't ask them at the time.
Uh-huh.
And they know my first name. My first name's Gerry, and my son was Aidan. And it's just to say a big thank you to them. If they're not listening, maybe somebody knows them that knows that they found somebody yesterday in Belfast Zoo at 4 o'clock. I'll just say a big thank you to them.
Okay, love. Where did they find him? Where did they wander off to? He just wandered off
towards the penguin, where the penguins were, and the sea lions.
Mm-hmm.
We sort of lost him between that and the orangutan. Sort of.
Between the penguins and the orangutan, sometimes you don't know where you're coming or going.
I didn't at that stage yesterday.
It's good to see the zoo open again, isn't it?
It is, yes.
That's good,
most of it's open.
I hope we don't have a repeat of what happened there. I remember a while back. Remember the fellas broke in and hit the wee penguins with the iron bars? Not terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I hope that'll never happen again. Anyway, okay, well, so your thanks goes to them.
Yes, just to say. Thank
All
you.
right.
Okay.
No problem.
Thanks
Thank
very
you.
much, Jay. Thank you, then. Bye.
Bye. Bye. It does look as if that the people who didn't get tickets are not keeping their eyes open.
Aye, well, I mean, let's face it. I mean,
in this day and age, now this is probably a thing that maybe people who are getting on a wee bit, and maybe people who are not so old either. You have to be quick these days.
You've got to be quick.
You have to be quick, and you can't blame the Waterfront for that because it was probably advertised, but they're not going to advertise it every day for weeks and weeks and weeks. Do you know what I mean?
Well, when I spoke to Eamon McCann, he painted a very good picture about the availability of the tickets. They were there. Everything was done right.
Well, obviously it was very difficult to get through on phone.
Yeah.
For probably reasons because it was jammed.
And also, they were told that there were people queuing up from 4:30 in the morning. So that's the way it is.
And
he also pointed out that for the U2 concert, I mean, they shifted something like 80,000 tickets in 40 minutes.
Shifted.
Do you like me using the word shifted?
He said shifted, didn't he?
Well, he may have said shifted.
You liked it, and you said I'll use that too.
Yeah. Well, what should I say?
No, shifted's a good word.
So?
Do you know what shifted means in Galway?
Off your mark?
Yeah.
That's right. We used to shift girls up here.
I never heard that used up here.
You did so.
I've never heard that expression used. In Galway and Limerick and round about the west of Ireland, people say, "Did you shift last night?" Meaning, did you get off with a girl?
Let's face it. You must have said it one time. A girl walked past in the street and you would have nudged your mate and said, "I shifted her."
No, you sure I said shifted?
There's a call for you. There's a call.
Maybe his hearing wasn't great. Our sack there, aren't we?
You are, though.
Bonbon car, c'est le bonbon car. Bonbon car, c'est un bonbon car.
tree. Honey shit, such a arrow and shleen. It's Misha on fire, she bungar. A bungar, it's a Donny's far. It's Misha on fire, she bungar. A hainer, hers, all the no yar. It's Misha on fire, she bungar. A bungar, it's a Donny's far. It's Misha on fire, she bungar. A bungar.
Quand j'étais jeune, on me racontait l'histoire d'une belle donzelle qui venait de Bala, propriétaire de la bonbonne car chacun avait du respect à son égard. Elle a pris un jeune en stop, il parle des heures d'amour et de rock. D'un seul coup il eut un pont magique, illuminé par des lumières mystiques.
Bín solskjed Durham von Oxbury Ag wink a mushi o Gerdin Marie Husik shit rink a guard on car Con shit put and column stump bar Shahan bon car and bon car Austin and old A honey gun car the Memphis step So bon car to Malcolm East of through Og It's Misha on a bar Lish and bon car car is a Donny's bar It's Misha on bar Lish and bon car car
Il voit des fées dansant vers eux et qui leur jettent de la poudre aux yeux. D'un seul coup ils se retrouvent tous deux à Tirnan au pays béni des dieux. Leur voiture marche au bon whisky, ils peuvent acheter au duty free. Et s'ils restent dans ce lieu béni, à jamais ils seront en vie.
It's Misha on fire, listen bum car. It's bum car, it's a Donny's far. It's Misha on fire, listen bum car. Hey there, hers on the note yard. It's Misha on fire, listen bum car. It's a bum car, it's a Donny's far. It's Misha on fire, listen bum car. Bum car. It's Misha on fire, listen bum car. It's a bum car, it's a Donny's far. It's Misha on fire, listen bum car. Hey there, hers on the note yard.
That's a group called Doona, D-O-O-N-A. That's a song called Bon Car, and that's all I can tell you about that. There'll be, sorry, getting more emails here. Eileen Rolston sends me an email. She says, I was also unlucky last Saturday. I rang the Waterfront continually from 10 a.m. and finally got through at 11:40 a.m. only to be told that tickets had been sold out since 11 o'clock. I couldn't believe it. The person I spoke to suggested I try for a show in Dublin. There's something funny somewhere. A few months ago I tried to get tickets for Cliff Richard at the Royal Albert Hall. These went on sale at 9 o'clock. I rang the phone continually all day and finally got through at 20 minutes to 5 in the afternoon. I managed to get 2 good seats for Saturday the 18th of May. It was a terrific show. There's something wrong somewhere with ticket distribution for the Waterfront. Hope you can solve the problem, as you have solved many others. Remember the price of bread? Yes, we get that lowered. And indeed, many other things. Well, there does seem to be some satisfaction about the system. It's not right. No, it seems to be not to people's satisfaction. I don't know what we can do about that, but maybe we could try and find out what would be more acceptable to people. It just seems to me that people are just being caught, or maybe it's just a case that it's not as easy anymore to just lift your telephone and get a ticket. I don't know. Probably between the internet and hanging about at 4:30 outside the. I don't know. There'll be a Maytime music. I might turn into Eamon Friel.
Turn into?
Eamon Friel. No, Eamon never finishes his sentences.
I don't know. Yeah.
I just noticed.
Lady phoned there now, and she told me a whole story about booking her ticket. She was outside the Waterfront from 20 minutes to 7, and she got into the Waterfront at 5 minutes to 10, but they weren't allowed to sell. They weren't selling any tickets until 10. She got up to the guy. She knew the Waterfront very well. She knew what seat she wanted. When 10 o'clock came, it was like the stock market. The guy says, right, okay, and everything was done above board. And the tickets came out, but it was the wrong tickets. The machine printed out row 1 instead of row 6, and she said something about the promoters getting so many seats, that they had blocked off so many seats. But anyway, she couldn't get the row of seats that she wanted.
So there's a bit of corporate stuff going on there.
Yeah, I think the first 6 rows or something, or whatever. But
that's probably for people like us.
And
probably for people like Frank Mitchell.
She's standing there, and she said, right, okay, then I'll give me row 7, and he pressed the button. He said, it's sold out. She said, row 8, sold out. It's row 9, sold out. He said, within seconds, as she was saying row this, row that, they're coming up in the computer, sold out, sold out. Eventually got to row 12, and she got her tickets in row 12.
That was the first ticket she could get. What time is this?
As quickly as she said row 8. sold out. Row 9, sold out. And the fellow was doing his best at the machine to try and get her
And this is just immediately after 10 o'clock?
This was just, she says she was the one person in front of her at 10. And then when that person went away, that person got 6 tickets, went away, and then it was hers.
So the first 12 rows were sold out in 1 minute?
She said, well, as she was speaking to the man, that was indicating on the computer, sold out, sold out, sold out, sold out. So, let's face it, if you were a promoter, you'd be delighted at that reaction.
You would be delighted, but if you're
or the artist, what can they do? It's an awkward situation.
I think it's the technology. If you've so many avenues to buy tickets, I mean, it's not just a question of getting up and saying, "Here's a tenner, gives a ticket, love," and that's one down and 8,000 to go.
Yeah. Would you talk?
But another thing that strikes me, I couldn't be bothered going to see Billy Connolly.
I'm fed up with him.
So am I.
Would you talk to Betty? We quickly with Betty before 12.
Hello,
Gerry.
Yes.
Listen, I was in the shopping centre in Ards a couple of days last week.
Yes.
And Richard from Discount Cards said to ask you, he sent you a big bag of dollars, and he never found out if you got it or no.
I didn't get any bag of dollars.
Did you not?
No, when was this? Recently?
Yes.
No, I didn't get it, tell him.
Okay.
Where did he send it? Did he send it to Belfast?
I would have thought he sent it to the foil.
Well, that's probably the best way, because I definitely get it. I'm not to say that I don't get things that get to Belfast, but sometimes, there's a bit of...
Yeah, no.
Nothing horrible, but, sometimes things get mixed up.
I'll send you a big bag a day.
All right, please do. I look forward to it. My teeth are on edge already. Okay.
Your eyes are watering thinking about it.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Hello to Anne and Gabriel, who are getting married today and listen to Ski from Dolores in Belfast. The Maytime Music Concert in St. Peter's Primary School, Cloughrade tomorrow and Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Well, can you please play Just When I Needed You Most, says he here. What? Yeah. Could you please play Just When I Needed You Most for Anne in Port Royce? I'd say there's a romantic little liaison going on there. Found a grey and white Tibetan Terrier outside Donaghadee last night. A Newton-Ards caller is looking for good homes for 2 3-month-old female collie pups. Give us a ring here and we'll put you on to it. And congratulations to Susan Ward and Coleraine and Kieran on their engagement. I've been trying to do that all weekend. I can't do it. You think you can do it, but you can't. It sounds easy. You try it and then it doesn't sound right. It's not the same. Anyway, to hell with it. I'm going to sing like my uncle did. Do Danny Boy on a key too high at a wedding and then have a heart attack at the high note. That's all we have time for. We'll be back tomorrow at the same time. Tomorrow, as far as I know, won't be a bank holiday, but you never know. If you want to write to me, write to Gerry Anderson, care of BBC Radio Foyle, Derry Stoke, London, Derry. Email gerry.anderson@bbc.co.uk. Remember, there's hope if you're bald. It's 12 o'clock.